So, hey folks, hope you're all doing well and logged in with whatever you're building for the pre-hack or global exposure to challenge, right? The whole reason of why am I doing this is because after each of the exposure to workshops that we've been doing all across India, we have had a lot of people interested in actually building with exposure to an Algorand. And I think one thing that we notice after each of the workshops is that people do understand the basics of what exposure to is or get a decent idea on the whole technical aspect of things. But then comes the next question, right? What do I actually build? Where do I get started? Which template do I use? How do I test an exposure to payment? How do I actually take this and integrate into something that I'm actually building, and so on and so forth, right? And you're given a bunch of resources that you have to go through, which just takes a lot of your time, and with the attention span that's left for us right now, it's just fucked up, right? So I just thought, why not to put everything all together into just one resource that you can see in front of yourself, that is from 402 to settlement, which is a practical exposure to build a kit for developers who are building agentic payments on Algorand. You can get a basic understanding of things. Also, we have ideation docs and so on and so forth. So I believe, rather than wasting our time onto what is in there, it's better to just go inside and check it out, right? So yeah, let's get into it. So that'll be basically your 5 minute guide before, for you to understand what exposure to is, why Algorand fits here, some architecture on how things go, and some playgrounds or things that you can test out, because you might want to know how this endpoint looks before you building one, right? And then some spend policy guard that you might want to explore, because that's really important. You can't just give access to your wallet to your agent without any policy guidelines, right? And then we have some recipient ledger, wherein you just see the full history of what all transactions that were made and for what reason. And then finally your idea scorecard that you might want to explore, and categorize your idea, or get a scorecard on where your or how much does your idea score. And you can ideate or iterate further on to making it better. So that's about it. Let's just go on to see documentation. So this is a very short documentation onto for you to understand what Expo02 is, what HTTP 402 specifically means here, what are various things that are involved into 402, and why does it matter for AI agents, why Algorand fits into this, and what next. So you will understand payment flows, as in like how this whole flow goes, right? Client, resource server, facilitator, and how Algorand comes here. So you can go on to explore this and read a bit more on this. And then we have agentic payments on Algorand, what makes a payment agentic, right? So you can go on to read it out and understand the architecture, why spend policy matters here, what are some design principles for your agentic payment flow that you might want to know before build something, and what this means for your hackathon project, right? And then we have idea selection guide, how to choose your idea or how to iterate on your idea. So before you start building, I would suggest you all to read out or ask yourself some 5 questions, and see if you're able to answer them. Who is actually paying? Why would they accept per request pricing? Is pay per request a natural fit, or you're forcing it? Does exposure to makes the product better, or did you just blot a paywall into something? And can this be demoed in 48 hours, or does it show the full payment flow on camera, not just demoed, right? So yeah, just go through it, ask yourself, and if you don't have idea, you can explore idea bank that we have put it out for you. And it consists for both agent e-commerce, consumer and business, and developer tooling. If you're interested in any of them, you can go on to explore that. And at the same time, you might come across and face few errors that we all go through. So you can just go here, read this out, get a few more understanding on, so you know what error you're facing. And demo and submission guide that you can go through for your submission, and ensure like your submission is under 3 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever the requirements for the hackathon might be, and what structure that you can follow for your demo. We have also put out like the kind of readme that you will require, or what at least needs to be there for a just to evaluate your demo. So that, see, the point of why I have put this is because not just for you to have like a very awesome idea, but and some technically no cracked thing that you have built, but at the same time, if you're not presenting it or demoing it in the right manner, or you're not showcasing what the actual features that you're offering for whatever you have built, then want to ensure that you have justified your project. So read this demo and submission guide. Then you have mainnet readiness check that you can go through if you are planning to go for mainnet, and you will require this thing. And again, you don't have to always have this pricing and business model, but we do offer you quick sessions with some of our mentors at Algo Bharat, who can guide you and help you out with figuring some of these things out. So just go on, explore this, and then you can book a calendar with them and ask them for their help. So now let's move on to your idea bank that you can explore on various ideas that you might want, or if you don't have any. Again, this is for consumer and business applications. If you're planning to get into that category, and developer tooling if you are interested in something like that, so you can go on to explore that. And then you have exposure to idea scoreboard. So the reason why I'm focusing more on scoring your idea is because one thing, first you have to have clear understanding on what you're building, and second, once you have that, don't just go on to blindly build something, but also see whether it fits what a judge or the hackathon is looking for too, or you're just forcing a tech that is not really required for that particular thing that you're building, right? So that's why this whole thing exists. These are some of the prompts that you can give to your AI agent. Just mention what your idea is, what stack that you are going for, and what are some of the requirements, and just give it, and it's gonna start building it for you. And then this is some debug failure that you might be facing. So you can just again give it to your AI agent assistant, and it will do it for you. This is a demo script. Again, you can even give this to your agent, and it will make a script for you to just go through and quickly make a 3 minute demo for your hackathon. Then improve my hackathon idea, which is really something that most of us just sit and make Lord think for 40 minutes, and then finally wait for it to give us some idea. So I have done it for you, and just utilize it. These are some of the starters that we have put out. For example, paid agentic client or paid API starter that you can utilize, or spend policy card. So these are a very basic category or very basic things that you will have in your own project. So you might want to look into this. And for your project, right, you will have some architecture .md. You will have your demo script. Obviously, again, this is a 3 minute demo script that I have put out here, that you can adjust it based on what the hackathon criteria are. But yeah, make sure you at least show some of these into your demo to make sure uh, you are showing or doing justice to your project, right? And this is your pitch, because you might want to pitch further, right? So this is something that you can follow through. Again, this is somewhat like a readme.md that you need to have in your repo, right? And some submission checklist that you need to ask yourself whether uh, if a judge is going through your project, will they understand it in the first 60 seconds of my demo, right? So ensure that you have this, or you go through it once. And this is just the whole repo that I have built. So this just shows you what all we have in there, and somewhat like a start here on how to get started with all of it. Now let's just move on to architecture. On you can come here, understand how this whole x402 to settlement architecture goes, or agentic architecture looks like. You can even click here and see the live endpoint that looks like, how it looks like. And this is your payment playground. So just run a live x402 flow, and you can explore how the transaction itself looks like. So now this transaction was made. This is the transaction hash. Just go there. We can see um, yeah, it was made now. And this is a x402 payment transaction that was made. Yeah, so you can just test things out. My whole point is for you to, have your hands on experience onto it, so that you don't get scared or think it's too complicated, because it's not. It's just, also we have given you a template as well, that you can just clone it, fork it, do whatever you want, give it to your agent, and it will literally, we have put out project brief and everything. So all you need to do is just give this project brief to your agent, and the template consists of literally everything that you will require to build a x402 endpoint, one or multiple, and it will do it for you, right? And then we have research agent that you can test it out, which goes through multiple, which is basically three price services that it goes through. For example, market data, news summary, and report. It generates a report, and you can see how the agent makes payment for all the services that it is utilizing. Next, we have spend policy guard, wherein we see how you can basically for example, like my daily budget is going to be this much, max per request. So this is something that you give to your agents, so to ensure that it doesn't goes beyond that limit. And this is how a block service is going to look like, or over per request cap, or over daily budget needs approval of human, or the service is allowed. So you can just go on to click on simulate and simulate those things. This is some recipient ledger based on all the things that we have done. So you can click on it and see all the transactions that were made basically. So this was made, yeah, again now itself, for the research that we have done, and how much agent paid. So it paid about 0.02 USDC for all the three services that utilize from the web, right? And then this is your idea scoreboard that you need to ask yourself: is the paying user clear, or is paper request natural? Does exposure to improve the product, or you're just fitting exposure to in here? Or can this be demoed in 48 hours? Is this real business model? Does it show the full payment score? And then when you get the score on this, and all your teammates needs to ensure that they do the scorecard individually, and then you guys come together and see whether the score matches, or do you guys still need clarity over your idea. So this is all that I have for you all. Again, just go here, clone it, and give it to your agent. Have clarity over your idea. Don't just start building, but just see if it fits or not, so that you don't waste your time. And yeah, that's all. Thank you very much. It was very long, but hope you understand how to go about this kit, right? Yep.